Good morning, LifeWealth Group family. This is the week of April 25th. As I said last time in my video, this is the week in which Yanise's birthday was. So we're celebrating Yanise's birthday on Monday, and we also celebrated Shay's birthday on Saturday of last week. Well, I just wish I had better news about international news. As you know, the war is still very much going on with Ukraine. We're entering into the third month right now with the Russian and Ukrainian war. And the update from last week is that Russia is making more progress to build a land bridge between where they are on the eastern side down to Crimea. They've basically taken over the region. I'm looking at a big map here, as you can, I'll show you on my map. Very cool map where you can see basically how Russia's invaded the whole of Ukraine. And it's essentially, to make it short for you, it's at a level of invasion that if this war were to stop, which is what we all hope and pray for, uh, that Russia could save face from their efforts, even take reprieve from the war, maybe regroup and think through what they want to do next. They have built the land bridge, as I said, over to Crimea, which they invaded in 2014. When we understand where Russia is coming from, they predominantly still just wants to take over the whole country. But we will still have to wait and see. There's one thing certain, that this war probably is not a short-term solution, as I say every time, and that we're looking at a longer range workout of how this would happen. Um, Local charities are doing a great job to help the folks in dire straits in Ukraine. I know our church has donated more than $500,000 to different charities to be able to make a difference. So our hearts goes out to people in Ukraine. Here locally, we've had a very turmoil week. We saw dealing with obviously inflation now. It's at 8.5%. We're dealing with markets moving into the correction territory. If I look at just the S&P, it's down about 12% year to date. The best this year the S&P has been was -2, and we were there just about 3 weeks ago. Dow's down as well, as so is the Nasdaq. The technology area is the areas where most people's portfolios are getting hurt, as well as growth-oriented stock. So this is a time to have a discussion. It's a time to look and see what we do with these losses. In your portfolios, for the most part, these are concentrated in what we call bucket three investments, which is investments that we were holding for the long term in any case. But if you find that the volatility is getting to you, please feel free to reach out to us. Another issue, obviously, is how quick interest rates will be on the rise. The Fed chairman of St. Louis, James Bullard, has made an announcement or made a position that the Feds need to increase interest rates by 0.75, which is the normal increases by 0.25 year in early May. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, has allocated or shared his views of increasing it to 0.5. So somewhere, I guess, between 0.5 and 0.75 will be the next interest rate increase. And we'll continue to see these interest rates increases, hopefully to battle inflation. Well, you can look and see that there's not a lot of positive news, and the conversation is becoming grim. So I wanted to share with you about 2 or 3 opportunities that is available today to be able to provide more stability inside of your portfolios. First area I want to talk with you about is if you are 5 years out and more, 5 years or less out from retirement or in retirement, an opportunity that exists for you is to buy what we call income yield. Income yield is simply buying an investment for the income that it produces. We have developed a high yield portfolio for our clients here from the beginning of the year that at this point in time is paying about a 6% yield number, which means if I put $1 million into it, it would produce $60,000 of income. Reason buying an income yield position right now is simply this: the more the market goes down, the more effectively your yield becomes. So as the market is trending down, 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 you can buy these yield positions and your overall yield number goes up, 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 up. So that's a buying opportunity to be able to buy yield, and the yield is what you're going to need for income when you retire. So that's an opportunity we see at this point in time to take advantage of. Also, our investment team developed a unique possibilities portfolio, which was originally a thematic portfolio, started with COVID. That portfolio has done really, really well since the beginning of the year. It's actually positive in the first quarter of the year, while every equity index is down. We're using ideas like this, our high yield position, as well as our unique possibilities portfolio, as ideas to be able to buffer against the downturn, or actually have positions that are growing positively in your portfolio. A high yield position is not, it's a more predictable return in that it produces that specific yield number or income number, but the growth still will be determined by the overall markets over a long period of time. Other ideas is to really start looking at downside protection. Downside protection, we have those downside protection tools available through equity indexing, as well as through our structured notes. Just did a review with a client where we had a structured note that has an inverse relationship. So the markets are down 12, the structured note is plus 12. That's called dual directional. Tools like this is always available to you to be able to bring stability in a time like this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or we haven't spoken to you about this, or maybe in the past you didn't have an interest in this, I urge you to reach out to us to have a 15-minute conversation so we can visit with you on it. But there are tools available. I think there's hope, and there are ways for us to be able to still create returns, positive returns, even in this down market. Here's how you reach out. You just give us a call at 407-299-4129 and schedule a 15-minute conversation, and we'll do a quick review of your accounts. Or you go to our website at www.thelifewealthgroup.com, and you can schedule online a 15-minute conversation for us to visit with you. Or you can simply just reach out by email and say you would like to have us have a discussion with you. Feel free to please pass this video on also to friends and family members if they have no advisor or their advisor is not as proactive as we are. We have solutions for all of you. We thank you again for being part of our LifeWealth Group family, and I look forward to being with you next week.